Welcome to the 14th Singer Awards and our first virtual awards ceremony. First and most importantly, I hope you and your loved ones are safe and healthy during this very unusual time. I'd like to start by sharing a little bit about the award's origins. Paul Singer, a graduate of the class of 1966, learned of an awards ceremony at Williams College that honored high school teachers of graduating seniors. Because he and his family understood the great contributions made by high school teachers, they offered the University of Rochester support to enable us to present similar awards here. As a result of their generosity, we were able to establish the Singer Family Prize for Excellence in Secondary School Teaching. Paul Singer's son, Gordon, was instrumental in working with us to develop the awards. When asked about the awards, Gordon wrote, "The Paul Singer Family Foundation feels strongly that while devoted secondary school teachers play a vital role in the intellectual development of American society, they often receive very little recognition or acclaim for their endeavors. This attempts to counterbalance that deficiency." The University of Rochester is thrilled to play a role in recognizing 4 high school teachers this year. Their work helps to shape the students that make this such a wonderful place to work. Not only do their students benefit from their efforts, so also do all of us at the university. Every fall, all of our seniors are invited to nominate inspirational high school teachers for this award. Over 30 of them did so this year. Our selection committee was comprised of Brian McGee, Professor Catherine Kuo, and 3 members of the junior class, Alyssa Ho, Akshay Sarachandra, and Eden Lynn Thomas. The committee read through and selected 8 semifinalists. We wrote to each of these educators for more information and asked their principals for supporting letters as well. In April, the committee reconvened via Zoom to discuss the candidates, and with great difficulty, we selected these 4 outstanding winners. What struck me most about these individuals was the humility they expressed, their dedication to their students, their gratefulness at being recognized, and more than anything, their appreciation that their profession was being recognized in this way. Congratulations to our 4 winners, and thank you so much to the student nominators who took the time to submit such strong and supportive letters of recommendation. Stephen Cardoso, an electronics technology teacher from William M. Davies Jr. Career and Tech High School in Lincoln, Rhode Island, who was nominated by Tanya Kano. Sarah English, a chemistry teacher from Sweet Home Senior High School in Amherst, New York, who was nominated by Ryan Hayter. Alexis Langheyer, a business teacher from South High School in Williamsville, New York, was nominated by Hannah Duttweiler. And Joanna Smith, a Spanish teacher from Johnstown Senior High School in Johnstown, New York, was nominated by Jonathan Bearden. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my colleagues in the event and classroom management program, who in very short time were able to put together this virtual celebration as a way to honor our graduates and award winners during commencement weekend. Thank you for your creativity and hard work. Now please take a moment to listen to the video clips that our student nominators and winners have submitted. Congratulations again to our award winners and our graduates. Thank you.
I'm Tanya Kano. I'm graduating this year with a degree in electrical and computer engineering. The teacher I chose to nominate for this award is Mr. Cardozo from Davies Korean Technical High School. Mr. C was my pre-engineering shop teacher all throughout high school, and I can genuinely say that it was thanks to his classes in shop that I decided to pursue engineering. Going into shop in electronics technology was always my favorite part of the school day. It was a challenging shop, but Mr. C always made the classes fun. He was always trying to create the best and the most useful lessons that would prepare us for college or work. And in my case, it worked, because a lot of the concepts he taught were things I saw again in my ECE courses. I remember that when I was there, he had always been pushing for the schools to add physics and calc, which we didn't have before. And at least my senior year, we had calc. He was always encouraging me and all the other students to aim high, and it was because of him that I joined robotics, which actually helped me get a scholarship to send to school. Another thing that I really appreciated and didn't necessarily realize until college was that in his class, I never felt like I couldn't go to college or I couldn't pursue engineering in college. So yeah, thank you, Mr. C.
Hi, my name is Stephen Cardozo. I am a career and technical educator at the William M. Davies Jr. Career and Technical High School in Lincoln, Rhode Island. I am honored to be selected as one of the winners of the Singer Family Award for Excellence in Secondary School Teaching. To receive this award at 32 years into the profession is quite an honor. Typically, the question I'm asked is, when are you retiring? You've taught 32 years in one school, and how do you teach the same subject for 32 years? Well, while valid, I love the profession. So teaching to me is not a chore. It's not something that I look back on and say, oh my God, it's been 32 years. I just look at it as each year is a challenge, and each year is different. So one group might see things one way, and next year it might be entirely different. I wish I could open up a drawer and pull out a folder that says lesson 5 and just throw it out there like I do every year, but that's just not the way I teach. And I think all these winners this year could say the same thing, that you have to update and you have to redo everything you've done from year to year. It's not a cut and paste profession where you can just move on and just figure it's going to work, one delivery system for all. It doesn't work that way. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my congratulations to the class of 2020 from the University of Rochester. Please don't let the event of the last few months cast a shadow over your great accomplishment. And finally, I would like to thank Tanya Kano, who nominated me this year for the award. Tanya, for 8 years now you've been known as a Davies kid. Now you're going to be known as a University of Rochester graduate with a degree in engineering. Way to go, Tanya. I'm very proud of you, and thank you.
Hi, my name is Ryan Hayter, and I nominated Dr. Sarah English, a chemistry teacher at Sweet Home High School. She was one of the biggest influences in my decision to even attend the University of Rochester in the first place. It wasn't on the list of schools I was planning on applying to, but upon hearing her experiences at the university, I instantly fell in love with the school and eventually applied. I also liked the way she ran AP Chemistry that I took as a junior. She really focused on us becoming more independent with our studies, and I am truly thankful for that because I benefited greatly due to the freedom she allowed me to have my junior year of high school, which most students don't get the opportunity to do until they're a freshman in college, and I got it 2 years earlier than that.
Hello, University of Rochester. My name is Sarah English, and I am honored to be recognized as one of the 2020 recipients of the Singer Family Award. I would like to thank the Singer Award Committee, the Singer family, and most importantly, Senior Ryan Hayter, the student that has put forth my nomination. I am a Regents and Advanced Placement Chemistry teacher at Sweet Home High School in Amherst, New York, where I have been teaching for the last 21 years. It was in my 2014 AP classroom where I was fortunate to meet Ryan during his junior year. Prior to this recording, I read over the letter that I wrote for Ryan in October of 2015 as he was applying to university. The words I used to characterize Ryan spoke to his loyalty, his enthusiasm, and his passion for excellence. Those are traits that he has continued to carry forward throughout his experience at the U of R. Over the years, Ryan has stopped in at Sweet Home to visit and update me on how his life was progressing. Even in those brief interactions, I could see the transformation that was occurring from his Rochester experience. This was evident as Ryan talked about his passion for chemical engineering and his involvement in many activities outside the academic realm. The study of chemical engineering at this institution is simply put, rigorous. The dedication Ryan has shown in completing this degree is a tribute to him. I'd like to acknowledge the Hayter family and the unconditional support that they have given and continue to provide to Ryan during his studies. Through Ryan, I was reminded of my own experiences during my time at the U of R and how those experiences have impacted my life in a positive manner. Being a member of the crew team instilled a sense of passion, determination, and teamwork. My sisters of Phi Sigma Sigma taught me the importance of sisterhood and solidarity. Walking through Wilson Commons at the beginning of my senior year, I came upon an information table about Peace Corps. A year later, I began my teaching journey in the Gambia, West Africa, as a math teacher. The experiences I had at the University of Rochester continue to influence my perception of the science and the art of teaching every time I step in front of a group of students. Thank you to the Singer family for this wonderful recognition. Thank you to President Mangelsdorf, Dean Runner, and the members of the Rochester community for their efforts to continue these celebrations of excellence during these extraordinary times. Thank you again.
Hi, my name is Hannah Duttweiler, and I'm majoring in psychology with a minor in biology. I'm currently planning to work a few years as a research assistant, then continue into a PhD program in clinical psychology. I chose to nominate Ms. Langhammer because she was against the grain. She cared more about making connections with her students than any grade given or evaluation received. Ms. Langhammer worked endlessly for her students, staying far past working hours, curating curriculum, clubs, and any event that could possibly benefit them, filling her schedule with extra courses she wasn't required to teach in order to provide more resources for her students. Another thing you could count on was that she was always on the student side, often placing herself at odds with other teachers and administrators. She encouraged students to take a stand for themselves and stood with them, providing representation not otherwise achieved. For me personally, she became my greatest mentor for academic success and for life more generally. I remember spending many after-school hours in her classroom while I waited for sports practices or other events. These times became a hotbed for authentic conversations about my concerns for the future and the world I was soon to become a member of. She has an inspiring mission to reach students and build them to be the leaders in their community, as they are with their personal strengths and missions. And I know I was not the only student to have benefited from her dedicated teaching. Ms. Langhammer stood for hard love. She held high standards and expected them met, but her love for her students and her work was evident every day.
Hi, my name's Alexis Langhammer, and I've been an educator for the past 13 years. I'm honored that Hannah Duttweiler nominated me for this award, and I appreciate the committee's time and for selecting me. I went into teaching like so many others. I wanted to serve and to make a difference, but truly, I have gotten so much more along the way from this journey. I believe that teaching is an extraordinary labor of love, that every great teacher just pours their heart, their time, everything they have into their students who really just become their kids. It's been this love for my kids and this devotion to the mission that has helped me to keep showing up every day, trying to be better for them and trying to help our schools become better for every student. I believe that every student is capable of greatness. And I think we have both an extraordinary responsibility and a privilege to draw that greatness out in them, to help them to find and uncover their own greatness within, so that they can achieve more than they ever even thought possible. And I believe that every kid should find a teacher and a place or a classroom in a school where they feel like they belong. Our world is continuing to change, and there are so many things that we cannot control. But what we can do, what we need to do, is we need to fill every school with teachers and classrooms where every kid can find a space to fit in, to feel loved, to feel valued, and have a safe place to grow. I'm so grateful to be on a team of passionate and committed educators, and I'm hopeful that more continue to join us every day. Thank you so much for supporting students and teachers.
Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Bearden and I'm a senior at the University of Rochester, double majoring in microbiology and Spanish. In the fall, I plan to attend SUNY Upstate Medical University to pursue a master's degree in biomedical sciences before applying to medical school. I am so happy to recognize the Spanish teacher that made me fall in love with the language, Mrs. Smith, and awarding her the Singer Family Prize. With her outgoing personality and energetic approach to teaching Spanish at all levels, she was certainly an invaluable asset to my experience at Johnstown High School. I know that wherever the future may take me, I will always remember the 3 years of Spanish that I had with Senora Smith. I am elated to celebrate and recognize Senora Smith as a leader and role model in secondary education.
Hi, I'm Joanne Smith, teacher at Johnstown High School in Johnstown, New York. My former student, Jonathan Bearden, nominated me for the Singer Prize, and I am very humbled and honored to have received it from your university. I have been teaching Spanish for over 20 years and have enjoyed using my skills and talents in helping to educate students at the high school level. I believe that each person is gifted with talents and skills that are unique in fulfilling his or her purpose in life. As a teacher, my desire is to help each student determine their own talents and skills with which they have been gifted. Hopefully, one day these skills will help them determine their career path they will take in order to be successful and fulfilled in their lives. When I was a child, my mother knew that I would become a teacher since I loved playing school with my other siblings. Although I was born in Schenectady, New York, my first language was Italian since my parents were Sicilian immigrants and only spoke Italian and the Sicilian dialect at home. When I started elementary school, I did not understand nor speak English and therefore did not do very well during my first 2 years in school. I passed every grade. By second grade, I was able to understand my teachers and was finally able to communicate with classmates and finally develop some friendships. In high school, my desire was to learn Italian again since I did not speak it any longer. I could understand both Italian and the Sicilian dialect, but only responded to my parents and other family members in English. When I attended Russell Sage College in Troy, New York, my language professors encouraged me to take a path other than pedagogy, since the field was saturated with foreign language teachers. I therefore decided to major in Spanish, minor in French, and business. After graduating with my bachelor's degree, I worked in a department store as an assistant manager, but quickly realized this was not the career path that I wanted for myself. Therefore, I attended SUNY Albany and received my master's in secondary education with permanent certification in both Spanish and French for grades 7 through 12. I have been teaching Spanish and French for over 20 years in various districts in the Albany area, Johnstown, and Florida. Unfortunately, the French program at Johnstown High School was eliminated several years ago because of budget cuts. I have taught all levels of Spanish, both at the middle school and high school levels. Teaching is my passion. I love what I do. I love teaching students, and I'm passionate about helping others to find their passion. Spanish is simply the venue that I am able to use to accomplish this goal. I thoroughly enjoy helping students understand the culture of other nations, especially Spain, Latin America, France, and Italy. I am in awe when I listen to my students as they communicate in Spanish and read their essays and listen to them speak as they try to utilize all the vocabulary and grammatical structures, sometimes complicated. Language learning is a fascinating phenomenon, and I thoroughly enjoy observing the progression of each language learner from very beginning until our college level courses. Again, I thank you for this prize and wish you all well during this global pandemic.